Hey everyone, this is Scott from the Forgot to Grow podcast. Welcome to another edition of ReWatching Agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. Today I'm talking about Season 3, Episode 19, Failed Experiment. So I'm just going to be starting off with the plot summary, then just talking about my general thoughts about this episode, as well as any foreshadowing Easter eggs I might have noticed. Let's just start with that plot summary, which says Radcliffe's first attempt to turn humans into Inhumans fails, as he requires Kree blood. Fitz and Simmons attempt to combine their potential inhuman cure with what they know of Radcliffe's research, but require an inhuman test subject. Lincoln volunteers himself, but severely compromises his immune system and seemingly proves that the cure cannot free the Inhumans of Hive's connection. S.h.i.e.L.D. locates Hive's town, and Mac and May lead a team to hopefully free the others by simply killing Hive. The Hive activates the Kree artifact, a beacon which calls two Kree Reapers to the town. They promptly murder Whitley. Daisy and Hive each confront a Reaper, with Daisy managing to begin harvesting her blood until the process is sabotaged by Mac. Hive, not realizing this, destroys the other Reaper. Daisy attacks Mac, nearly killing him, but is interrupted by May, who helps Mac retreat with the rest of the team. Daisy then offers her own blood as an alternative for Radcliffe's experiment, as it was recently infused with Kree blood. So that was the plot summary for this episode. I like this episode because it's kind of an interesting one, because Mac has a certain belief about Daisy, and he thinks that there's a part of her still connected to this, and that leads to him getting his ass whooped. She quakes the shit out of him. She almost killed him if May hadn't showed up, and it's just like, whoa. And so he had to learn that lesson a little bit of hard way, but I also like this one because we learn a little bit more about the background. We get a flashback at the beginning of Hive, so we learn about how he became, we already kind of knew, but we get to see a flashback of it, so I really like that. He was just originally just some human farmer, or not farmer, hunter. He was just a human hunter, and he got captured by the Kree and experimented on and turned into the first Inhumans. And so I really like that we got that quick little brief flashback. I like that Hive feels comfortable enough to share all this stuff with his Inhuman disciples. So it's really interesting to kind of get that point of view. I like that we get more of Radcliffe in this one, trying to recreate the Kree experiments, him failing at first, but then, trying to backpedal and be like, hey, I didn't know. I suspected it, but I didn't know for sure. And the fact that he's kind of on board with helping Hive, because he sees how this could be such a big thing for humanity, a big leap forward, and that kind of gives you a little insight into Radcliffe's mindset, what kind of motivates him when it comes to science, and it kind of foreshadows a little bit some of the trouble he causes later with LMDs, and which thus leads to the framework and all that trouble that leads to for the agents of S.h.i.e.L.D. So that was just a really fun little bit we got from it. There was a cool line actually from Hive at one point. He says billionaires can make super suits and the military can make super soldiers. That's a little bit of a paraphrase, but yeah, I like that he mentions that, as a reference obviously to Iron Man and Captain America. Obviously he's just referring to that it takes you have to be a billionaire to make a suit, or you have to be part of the military and be lucky enough to get this experiment. So he kind of just wants to level the playing field by making everybody an Inhuman, which is kind of just a way of, convincing his own Inhumans that it's like, well, no, you just want to control the whole world because you control Inhumans. So it's like, come on, Hive. Come on, Daisy, why can't you see that? Why can't you see Mac was right? Daisy, why'd you have to quake him? Some other cool things. We see Hive turn on the Kree device, which was cool. I forgot that that's what it was, but that was his beacon. And then the Kree show up to take out the Inhumans. I thought it was kind of interesting to see how quickly he takes out the one Inhuman, Whitley, I believe her name was. Yeah, who, has the ability to have multiple of hers, and she just got taken out really quickly by the Kree to just show you how powerful they are. But then you also get the Kree, Daisy and the Kree fighting, and Daisy having to resort to using her Quake abilities in order to be able to defeat him, which, use what you got. And then we see Hive also Hive able to actually stand fist to fist with, the Kree for a bit, and then eventually just sand eats his face with stuff. It's a very unsettling thing. It's a very cool effect. But yeah, that was a cool little part. What else do I have? Yeah, Hive versus the Kree Reaper was cool. And then May is the one, it looked like May at least, was the one who shoots Daisy in order to stop her from killing Mac, which I already mentioned. It's such an emotional thing. Part of me thought that this is where she snaps back. I thought she would, she started beating on Mac, and then, Mac at one point's like all bloody faced, and then she just, that's when she snaps back. That's not what happened. I just misremembered that. Or maybe it was just a hope. I was hoping that was going to be what happened instead of her trying to kill Mac, which is what she tried to do. She tried to quake his chest. That can't be good. But yeah, and then at the end we have Daisy offering up her blood as because it has the Kree blood in it, which I had forgotten a little bit because she's become an Inhuman since that's happened, right? So it's like so much stuff happens in this show. It's so hard to keep track of little things like that. Even Hive didn't remember, and he had the memories of Grant Ward in that. He has the memories of Grant Ward, that is, and so like he should have already known. He just didn't think of it because obviously there's just so much else going on, and it just doesn't occur to us until the end of this episode. Because it's like, well, yeah, Daisy, if you thought of that before calling the Kree, that would have saved everybody a little bit of trouble. But what are you gonna do? But yeah, that brings me to the end of my notes for this episode and everything I had noticed and thought to write down. I'll be sure to let me know in the comments below if there's anything you liked about this episode in particular, or any Easter eggs or foreshadowing I might have missed. I always like hearing those. But thanks again for joining me today, and have a good one.